Good morning, students. I welcome you all for the English class today, which is an interesting topic which we are going to deal with. That is the supplementary 4 from your syllabus, that is the Midnight Visitor. See, this is written by Robert Arthur, an interesting story. That is, Archibald is the hero of this story, who is said to be a secret agent. In spite of his appearance, he would have a very good presence of mind. Because of that presence of mind, he came out of the witty Max, who was said to be a man, criminal, dead criminal, who came here to take all the important documents from Archibald. By using the presence of mind, he escaped from the critical position. That is the message conveyed by the author to all the audience of this lesson. We will enter into the lesson in detail. So let me enter into the supplementary in detail. So the name of the supplementary is The Midnight Visitor, and the author is Robert Arthur. See, what is the message conveyed by the author in this lesson is, see, in whatever situation you are, whether it is critical or in an easy situation, you have to use your presence of mind. See, you should not panic for any of the critical positions, situations. You have to use your presence of mind that will help you to come out of the critical position. That is what is conveyed in this lesson by the author. See, here we go into the author's introduction. The name of the author is Robert J. Arthur Jr. His life period is between November 10, 1909 to May 2nd, 1969. And he has won so many awards, and one of the important awards that is mentioned is Edgar Award for Best Radio Drama. His education is being done in the University of Michigan, William and Mary. See, the best movies which he has sent and it is familiar with is The Three Investigators and The Secret of Terror Castle. And he was a writer of speculative fiction and specialized in crime fiction and mystery fiction. He was also known for his work with the Mysterious Traveler radio series and for writing The Three Investigators, a series of young adult novels. Arthur was honored the Mystery Writers of America with an Edgar Award, first for the best radio drama. He also wrote many scripts for television also. See, in this story, we have to first discuss what is the gist of the story. That is, the story is about a witty secret agent and his name was Archibald. He was with the writer named Fowler throughout the evening, as Fowler was interested in spending time with the secret agent, but when he spends time with Archibald, he realizes he is exactly the opposite of what he had imagined and that he was a bore. He thought a different appearance of the secret agent, that is Archibald, but when he met in person the personality, that is Archibald, he was not able to believe. He was exactly the opposite of what he had guessed. Archibald then told Fowler that he had been thinking wrong, that soon he would be looking at a report that would change the country's future. Then Archibald takes Fowler to his room, and when they entered the room, a guy with a gun named Max, he was standing in the room. He asked them to be comfortable until the reports about the missiles arrived in 30 minutes, as he was there to steal the reports. This was the first adventure out of many that Fowler had expected when he had thought of meeting a secret agent. While they were talking, Archibald started with the story about how a guy had entered from the balcony last month below his room. While this talk was going on, a sudden knock was heard at the door. Archibald said that it must be the police, as he wanted them to check on him, that after some time, because he wanted to make the reports that were coming in extra secure. Max, pointing his gun towards them, said that he would be waiting in the balcony and that Archibald should send away the police, otherwise he would shoot them and even take the risk of being caught by the police. As the door knob is turned, Max jumps out of the window and a loud scream is heard. The door opens and a waiter comes in and says that he has brought the wine that Mr. Asable has ordered him to bring. He keeps the bottle, tray and the glasses on the table and he leaves. Fowler is surprised and he asks him about the police, to which Asable replied that there was no police. Then Fowler asked what about the person who was waiting in the balcony outside the window, to which Asable replied the person that he would not come back because the balcony was an imaginary balcony. There is no balcony at all. This shows the quick wit of Asable as he took the advantage of the situation and made Max nervous, due to which he jumped out of the window thinking that there was a balcony. But it was an imaginary balcony told by Asable to Max. He had jumped from the top of the floor of the hotel and who have possibly died. This is how Asable outwitted Max and saved himself from a very dangerous situation. See, when you are using the presence of mind in any of the critical position, you will be able to come out of the situation. See, here is a warm-up given for you to exercise. That is, you have to study the title of the story, The Midnight Visitor. Discuss in groups what the story is all about. See, I told you the story in a short way that you can discuss with your partners. See, you can identify by their appearance to which profession they belong to. What comes to your mind first when you think of a pilot or a traffic policeman? See, here in this lesson, you are given about a secret agent. So, you will be having some, extra opinion about the secret agent. But in opposite, you can find a personality who will not fit for the position of being the secret agent, but Asable, as the hero of the lesson, he used his presence of mind and he was doing his job because of the good presence of mind, and he had secured the job given to him. So this is what is given in this lesson. So the second task for you to do as a warm-up is, let us try to picturize people in a few interesting professions, that is based on their profession. Common perception you have to have in your mind and you have to find out, picturize the people. That is scientist, soldier, journalist. And the typical dress, hairstyle, accessories. What are the dress they will wear as a scientist, as a journalist, as a soldier? You have to do the mind mapping and discuss with your classmates. See, here is the character sketch of Asable given for you to refer in the form of a picture. So you can find a short man, fat man who is acting as a secret agent in this story. So the story starts like this. Sometimes appearances can be deceptive. See, you cannot judge the book by a cover. As in the case of Asable, a secret agent who, despite his common looks, with his resourcefulness and presence of mind, outwits a deadly criminal. How he has secured the missiles and how he outwit a criminal, that is a deadly criminal, because of the presence of mind. Read the story to see how this had happened. Asable did not fit any description of a secret agent. Asable did not suit for the position to be a secret agent, but he was very intelligent. Following him down the musty corridor. See, for your reference, I have given you the meaning of musty, that is having a stale smell. The corridor is musty because of the gloomy French hotel where Asable had a room. He had a permanent room in the particular hotel. Fowler felt let down. So the friend of Asable, he visited in the particular hotel. The corridor of the hotel was mentioned as musty. Musty means having a stale smell. So it was a very small room. on the sixth floor, that is the top floor, and scarcely a setting for romantic adventure. See, here it is kept for adventure, that is on the topmost floor of the building of the French hotel. See, Asabel was, for one thing, he was very fat and he was different in his accent. Though he spoke French and German passably, passably means easily, but he had a different accent speaking French and German. He had never altogether lost the American accent he had brought from Paris, Boston 20 years ago. So he was following that accent instead of speaking French and German accent as per the people of the same place. See, the conversation goes like this between Asabel and Fowler, his friend. You are disappointed, Asabel said wheezily. The meaning of wheezily is with a hissing sound while breathing. See, when you breathe, sometimes you will get a sound of this type, that is a hissing sound like a snake. The same way Asabel was also easily raising his shoulder, and he was telling that you are disappointed. You were told that I was a secret agent. So this conversation is between Asabel and his friend Fowler. He was telling his friend Fowler, you expected a secret agent in a different appearance. But my appearance is totally different from a normal, formal secret agent. A spy dealing in espionage. Espionage is nothing but the practice of spying to obtain the information. And it is a dangerous position also. You wish to meet me because you are a writer. See, his friend Fowler was a writer. He used to write, adventurous stories. That is why he has got an appointment with Asabel and he met his friend in the particular hotel. And you wish to meet me because you are a writer and you are young and romantic. You envisioned the mysterious figures in the night, the crack of pistols, drugs in the wine. Instead, you have spent a dull evening in a French music hall with the sloppy means careless and unsystematic fat man, that is Asabel, who instead of having messages slipped into his hand by dark-eyed beauties, gets only a prosaic, that is ordinary or usual telephone call making an appointment in his room. See, in this paragraph, the appearance of Asabel was explained by him to the friend Fowler. You have been bored. Say, on meeting me, you will get bored. The fat man chuckled to himself as he unlocked the door of his room and stood aside to let his frustrated guest enter. You are disillusioned. Disillusion means disappointed because of seeing someone how they expected will be different, totally different while seeing in person. That is why it is given as disillusioned. See, Asabel told him, but take cheer, my dear young friend. Presently, you will see a paper, a quite important paper, for which several men and women have risked their lives come to me. See, I have to protect some of the important papers, documents, which is given me as a job, and you can see after some time what are the important papers which is handed over to me. Some day soon that paper may well affect the course of history. See, why I am telling you that is one of the important papers, because the history can be changed because of those papers. So you have to wait for those papers. In that thought is drama, is there not? As he spoke, Asabel closed the door behind him. Then he switched on the light. And as the light came on, Fowler had his first authentic thrill of the day. See, after closing the door, when they entered into his room, after the light is switched on, he was at the moment of thrill, because for half a way across the room, a small automatic pin his hand stood a man. See, you can see in this picture. There was a man standing having a pistol in his hand. So they did not expect this one more guest appearance. He was unexpected guest in the room when they opened the door and closed the door and they entered into the room. Asabel blinked for a few minutes. He also did not expect that particular man inside his room. Then he said, Max. The name of the man who was standing with the pistol in his room was Max. Again he wheezed. Wheeze means with a whispering sound. You gave me quite a start. I thought you were in Berlin. He was talking casually with Max, telling that he did not expect Max on that particular moment because he would be in Berlin. What are you doing here in my room? Max was, now we are getting into the appearance of Max from this line. Max was a slender, a little less than tall, and with the features that suggested slightly the crafty, pointed countenance of a fox. So he was having the appearance of a fox. There was about him, aside from the gun, nothing especially menacing. That is, he was simply having a pistol in his hand and his appearance was totally resembling a fox. The report, he murmured. So he was talking about the report. He wanted to get the report from Asabel. The report that is being brought to you tonight concerning some new missiles. So that was an important document because it is related with the missiles. I thought I would take it from you. So I came here because I wanted to get the papers from you. It will be safer in my hands than in your hand. So Max was telling Asabel that the papers which were handed over to Asabel would be safer only in the hands of Max. Asabel moved to an armchair and sat down heavily. I am going to raise the devil with the management this time. So he was again talking casually with the Fowler and Max, telling that he was going to raise a complaint to the manager of the building in which he was staying. You can bet on it, he said grimly. He said that it was a challenge to make a complaint to the hotel manager. I am going to raise the devil with the management this time and you can bet on it, he said grimly. Grimly means strongly. This is the second time in a month that somebody has got into my room through that nuisance of a balcony. See, here you have to notice the word balcony is introduced in this paragraph because he wanted the newcomer, that is Max, to get aware of the balcony which is attached to his room. And it was a nuisance to Asabel because he was not able to do his work peacefully because of that balcony present in the building. So he was telling that I am going to give a complaint about this nuisance balcony to the hotel manager. Fowler's eyes went to the single window of the room. So when he was telling about the balcony present, Fowler's eyes went to the window of the single room where that balcony was. Balcony? Max said with the rising inflection. Max was also surprised to hear that there was a balcony present along with this room. No, Epaski, I did not know about the balcony. It might have saved me some trouble had I known. After the words comes out of the mouth of Asabel, Max said, it was surprising me too to know that there was a balcony. It's not my balcony, Asabel said. See, the particular balcony which was built along with this room is not belonging to my room. It was the neighbor's room. It was attached to the neighbor's room. So through the balcony, the strangers are entering into the room. So I found it a nuisance. So I am going to give a complaint to the manager. It belongs to the next apartment. Next apartment means next to room. He glanced explanatorily at Fowler. See, inflection means modulation or intonation. That means with a rise in the tone. Intonation means that is a falling intonation and a rising intonation. Max here gave a rising intonation in his voice. You see, he said, this room used to be a part of large unit. Now he was explaining the appearance of the room where they were seated. and the next room. Through that door used to be the living room. That room consists of a balcony which belongs to the neighbor, which extends until my window now. So that particular balcony is extending to his window, to his room's window. You can get onto it from the empty room 2 doors down, and somebody did last month. So the same thing happened last month also. There was a stranger who entered into the room of Asabel without his permission. This was said by him to the stranger Max as well as his friend Fowler. The management promised me to block it off, but they haven't. What they said is, they said they will block the balcony, but now it is again opened. That is why we found Max inside the room without his permission. Max glanced at Fowler, who was standing stiffly not far from Asabel, and waved the gun with a commanding gesture. Now he was showing the pistol towards Fowler, and he had given a command also. Please sit down, he said. We have to wait half an hour, I think. 31 minutes, Asabel said moodily. Because when Max said, we have to wait for half an hour, he said, not half an hour, it is 31 minutes. The appointment was for 12:30, and I wish I knew how you learned about the report, Max. Now he was surprised how Max would come to know about the report, that is about the secret documents. The little spy smiled evilly, and we wished we knew how your people got the report. But no harm has been done. Okay, as an informer, I have got the secret, information from the security people, and I am going to take care of it. But I do not know how you people are getting the same information because everything was kept secretly. I will get it back tonight. What is that? Who is at the door? Fowler jumped at the sudden knocking at the door. Asabel just smiled. See, when they were involved in this conversation about the secret report, there was a sound heard for those people, that is a knocking sound at the door. And Fowler was shocked to hear the sound of the knocking, but Asabel just smiled. He was peacefully sitting. That will be the police. Immediately, using his presence of mind, he said, that will be the police. I thought such an important paper as the one we are waiting for should have a little extra protection. See, simply the security people will not bring the paper as it is. They have to bring it with the proper protection. So, with a little extra protection, the police would have brought the information with the documents. I told them to check on me to make sure everything was all right. Previously, I have informed the police to bring the documents properly with extra protection. That is why the police would have come to bring the documents. Max bit his lip nervously. Now he has got nervous. The knocking was repeated. The knocking sound was continuously heard by the people. What will you know, Max? Asabel asked. If I do not answer the door, they will enter anyway. See, if I keep silence for a few more minutes, the police would enter the door by breaking it. The door is unlocked because it is not locked. They will not hesitate to shoot. By seeing the stranger inside the room, they will not hesitate to shoot at him. Max's face was black with anger as he backed swiftly towards the window. So he was trying to move out of the window. He thought there was a balcony to escape. That is why he was discussing with Asabel. He would not know about the balcony. He swung a leg over the sill. Sill is a slab of wood or stone at the foot of the window opening or the doorway. You might have seen the slab of wood or stone near the window for stamping your foot at the window opening or the doorway. Send them away, he warned. See, I'll move through this window for a while. In the meantime, you have to send the police again. I'll be waiting near the balcony. I will wait on the balcony. Send them away, or I will shoot and I will take my chances. He warned both Fowler and Ausable, and he went near the window. The knocking at the door became louder, and a voice was raised, keeping his body twisted so that his gun still covered the fat man and his guest, that is, Fowler. The man at the window grasped at the frame with his free hand to support himself. So, in the meanwhile, when the knocking sound was heard loud, he raised his finger and showing the pistol towards the people who were inside the room, that is, the secret agent and Fowler. He warned them, I'll be waiting near the balcony. You have to send them quickly. Then again, I will come and get the documents. The door knob turned. Now they heard the noise of the doorknob, which was turned. Swiftly, Max pushed with his left hand to free himself from the sill and dropped to the balcony. So he jumped to the balcony through the window. And then, as he dropped, he screamed once shrilly. The door opened, and a waiter stood there with a tray, a bottle, and two glasses. See, as expected, there was no police at all. A waiter was standing near the door because Ausable had ordered two glasses of wine for him and his friend to the waiter. So the waiter only was standing near the door and he was knocking the door. Here is the drink you ordered when you returned, he said, and set the tray on the table. Deftly uncorked, deftly means skillfully uncorked the bottle, that is opening the bottle, and left the room. White-faced Fowler stared after him, but he stammered, the police. He was stammeringly telling him that you said that would be the police, but unexpectedly the waiter was entering into the room. There was no police at all. Ausable sighed. He smiled and he said, only Henry, whom I was expecting, but won't that man out on the balcony. Fowler began. But Fowler was still afraid because Max was waiting on the balcony. No, said Ausable. But Ausable strongly said, no, he won't return. Definitely, he will not come back. You see, my young friend, there is no balcony at all. So simply he said it was an imaginary balcony by using his presence of mind in order to save the important documents or reports by the people which was sent to him to keep it secretly. So I hope you all understood. It is only a simple story. See, whenever you are with the presence of mind at any critical position, you can use it and escape easily from the critical situation. That's all about the lesson. You read the lesson and please prepare the summary of the lesson. Thank you so much. We will meet in the next class. Thank you.